Super Bowl 50 back in February of 2016. There's a look at the home of the 49ers, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. On the return from his end zone, Malik Taylor. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Rodgers going to the air to start things out. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 23 yards, the final tally. Now it's Rodgers. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. First down, here's Mitchell. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, this defense for the Packers, they were excellent last week in the win over the Chargers.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers. 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
That's caught by Werner, the tight end. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
On the double. Go. Check right. Check pink. Hut. Drill 52. Yellow.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Davis Price on 1st and 10. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Lance. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 3rd down, here's Mitchell. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So on comes Cairo Santos now for the field goal try. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. Santos' kick is up and through, and the 49ers take a 3-0 lead.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
That one 28 yards on the ground. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
So, Charles, you talk about this offense, how well they played. I mean, the defense, too, really. But they're sitting at 10-0 now on the year. 4-0, 5-0, that's nice. But once you start hitting double digits with these wins and no losses, I think the seriousness...
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
And the 49ers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Black shot.
Here's Lance to throw it.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Quay Walker, and the Packers are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Rodgers.
He's got Watson. It's caught. Touchdown, Packers.
A great play there. Touchdown number 18 on the year.
And the Packers are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes it a 7-3 lead.
After the touchdown, on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
And, Charles, you look at these two teams, these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got two division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Haven't been a corner that's worth the salt yet that ever admits to worrying about man coverage. How about the play there, breaking that pass up?
Working from the gun, Lance.
And that will be incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
To return is Taylor. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
On second down, it's Jones. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Down he goes. The 49ers get there. Nick Bosa has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. After 7-3 the score. The Packers with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down.
88. One down. You got 58.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long. That's taken in by Watson. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're talking about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. That's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting in that direction, you tend to go towards it.
He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
4th down and no hesitation from Matt LaFleur as he sends out the field goal unit. And this one is right through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So it's 4th and 1. They wind up taking the 3. But I'm not sure that offensive unit, judging by the sideline, Charles, was in 100% agreement with the decision.
No, not at all. But the head coach has final call on this. We know that. But let's face it, offenses want to feel like, hey, you believe in us, let us go for it. We'll see if that is a problem for them moving forward in this game.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Give to Davis Price up the middle here. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. The Niners at 8-2 on the year. And they come in as a team that looks like a well-oiled machine getting ready for the postseason. Winners at 8 of their last 10.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
They'll roll him out right. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
That's complete to John Ross. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Here we go. Watch out now. 60 Fury.
Lance to throw for it on 4th down. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. There he goes left side. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. From the 41, Lance. The 20. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Let's go.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll run with Mitchell. Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the Packers pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know a lot of defensive coaches have certain guys on their squad that they look to as drive stoppers, guys who can make big plays, interceptions, knock it free. In this case, they didn't need one. The offense supplied it for them, just dropping the ball.
Yeah, and that was after they were doing so well on this drive through the air. They go to the ground, doesn't work. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They'll take over deep in their own end after the fumble recovery as they start 1st and 10. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. 23 yards on the play. That's the #2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be #2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be #1.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. He's got a man. Complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Long developing route there on the post corner, but it was worth the wait.
It certainly was. I love the way you described it because you do have to sell the post. Usually a couple of steps towards the middle of the field in order to get the defender to turn his hips. And then he breaks off towards the corner, and off he goes. Well executed.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Robert Tonyan, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Packers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
On the set.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive. He's got a man. Complete. A big play there just before halftime. 76 yards. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the campaign and 4th overall. And the 49ers get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 24-10. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. On the return, it's Taylor from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On play action. Now Rodgers.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Away. Taking it about the 36. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see. A final shot before half for Lance.
And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
On 2nd down, here's Mitchell.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the 3rd quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in the amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Black Ultra.
They fake the handoff. Now Lance.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Throwing on 2nd and long.
Lance
completes it to the tight end, Kittle. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
And Lance going to throw.
Completes it to Samuel. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 36. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36.
White, 97.
Back to the ground here, Mitchell. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards, and that'll bring up second down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
To throw, it's Lance. And that's dropped underneath to Mitchell.
Room here to run. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers 16.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
10 cycles.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Open man is Ross, complete.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Ready, set.
2nd and 8 coming up.
Drill, 52.
Lance, a give now to Sermon.
And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lance. That's caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Niners have got it back to within a score.
Santos with the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 24-17. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Taylor now from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, they certainly spread the ball around so far, but they're definitely getting everyone involved now when you're throwing it to the fullback. Just shows how versatile this offense is and how everyone is a threat.
On the move to his left.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner.
So, my goodness, I would have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
To throw on 2nd and 10.
Lance looking for the out route. He's got it. Complete to Kittle.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Come on, 38. Blaster. No ready. Ready?
Throwing now is Lance.
Steps away to his left. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down. So on comes Cairo Santos now for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Santos' kick is up and through. So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right now.
Well, as we know, they all sting no matter what the situation, but in a one-possession game, that'll hurt a little bit more. But this is an excellent opportunity to make up for it on this drive. I just don't expect them to try and take huge gambles to make up that momentum in a hurry.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
To throw is Rodgers.
This one swung out here to Jones.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Rodgers again now. Touchdown, Packers!
Robert Tonyan
with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year.
And the Packers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 11.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He's got a man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Off of play action, here's Lance.
Steps.
Oh, Lance has it knocked free. The ball is loose.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Now Lance.
It's caught. Mitchell.
On the move past the 40. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And Lance now to throw. That's another one complete to Mitchell. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Another 1st down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
22 meters.
They run over center with Mitchell. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Ready.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Ready.
That's complete to the tight end, Werner. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Davis Price will try to pick it up. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Ready, break. Striker, 3-3. Steal, check steal. Hey, check mega.
They'll run for it. Sermon. And not only did he not get in the end zone, he didn't get the 1st down either. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the 1st down. And that will force a turnover on downs. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Big stop on the turnover on downs to get the football back, and now it's just all about salting this one away.
Yeah, just slowly bleed the clock away.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 63 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Hey, 26.
Now it's Rodgers. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Nick Bosa, his 2nd sack of the night.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive, then march to the end zone the last time out.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Rodgers going to throw. Open man is Taylor. He's got it.
And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I'm seeing a lot of guys shaking their heads on defense right now, particularly in the secondary. And when you see that going on, that is never a good sign. But it's understandable. They've been shredded so far.
Now Jones. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
They'll try again with Jones. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Were you as surprised as I was that they actually ran it on 2nd down there? I thought that they would go ahead and throw it in every situation here.
They've thrown for 3 touchdown passes now. Here, I think they probably go back to the air.
Yeah, I think so. But ordinarily, 2nd down is when you run your play fake, your play action, show run, and throw the ball. Now they brought up 3rd down. They'll have to throw it anyway.
Buying time to his left. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And finally, he's out of bounds, but not before a great return. He's all the way inside the 30.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession. And to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
Blaster, 6.
Throwing on 1st down is Lance. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
On the double.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Flag blue. Hey, red. Edo blue.
Shotgun now for Lance. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. And the Packers are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys have been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
His throw incomplete.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield, because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
They'll try to run some clock now with Jones. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Touchdown, Packers! A.J. Brown, 77 yards. And the Packers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown, 49ers. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Well, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. On the return, it's Taylor from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shouldering the ball carrier, and down he goes.
Now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. He's got a man complete. 30. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams have to use the momentum to launch another one.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Here's Jones again on second down. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. This has been frustrating for them to this point. They have not looked the same as they did coming in, riding that impressive 6-game win streak. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. Here's Lance to throw it. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Yeah, boy, he had the marker square in his sights, but a good tackle's going to leave him about a yard or so short. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. Desperation time here. Lance. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's
It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with a football already being in the red zone.
58.
They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Packers, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, it's a loss that could hurt them come playoff seeding time as they drop to 8-3. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs.